I recall also one of the studies that we told regarding regenerative medicine as it relates to the U.S. Army. There was one agenda, and even spoke about creating his own kind kind of subgroup that would be Illuminati-oriented of great authors and poets and artists who could affect the same thing. But that was the only relationship we made in transhumanism to the question of the Illuminati, tied specifically only to the time period with Percy Shelley and his influence in the background of writing Frankenstein.
All right. Well, there is so much in this volume. It's well, what do we got here? Almost 300 pages. And it's there's obviously a lot of research in it, and I can pick anything in here, and we can talk for an hour on it because there's that much depth. Let's go to Thomas Aquinas' vision and alchemy. And what's all that about?
Well, this is something, John. Again, when we were digging into all of these alchemical symbols that seem to be recurring in this movement over and over again, we bumped into an alchemical text called the modular. It's well known to medievalists, but not so much to anybody else. This is a text in which Aquinas apparently had a vision in which the sexuality of God in the church, God is usually considered in Christian symbolism to be the bridegroom and the church to be the bride. Well, in his vision, he gets everything so scrambled that the church or the individual human soul ends up being the bridegroom, God ends up being the bride. In other words, all the roles are reversed and scrambled, and ultimately you end up with the very clear implication in the text of androgyny. Now, the reason why the text is interesting is because Aquinas, after having written so much theological commentary, philosophical commentary, biblical commentary, the man was enormously influential culturally in our history. All of a sudden, he just simply quit writing altogether. And the usual explanation, John, is that he had a vision, and being a humble, pious man, he just couldn't write about it. The words failed him. But when you read this text, there are two medieval sources that attribute it very directly to Aquinas, and even go so far as to suggest that it may have been his long-lost commentary on the Old Testament book of the Song of Solomon. Well, the reason the other sources don't tie up to Aquinas is when you read this thing, it's very clear he's talking completely outside the pale of Christian orthodoxy. And he's talking about this androgynous fusion. So the text became very problematical. And Aquinas, in doing that, if indeed the text was, his text to begin with, then very clearly he moved outside the pale of Christian orthodoxy altogether. He enunciated this kind of transhumanist androgynous symbol very, very clearly in this text.
Which would not be altogether that shocking.